Live?
Yes, we're live today, and thank you for joining my Patreon. That was awesome. Thank you so much, and welcome back. Yeah, we starting a bit early because we doing things technically a little bit. We're streaming on Linda's YouTube channel and stuff as a test to dual stream. So that's why we needed to set things up, and then we realized when we set it up that in order to test it we actually need to stream, so we started early just to work out the kinks, and it seems to work. Let's keep a tab on and chat with her crowd over there. So yep, welcome Angomarand. Awesome.
Everything should be good.
You're early today. That's awesome.
All right, and
we are early.
Ignore the messy table behind me. I haven't cleaned.
You cleaned one half last week, so you can.
I cleaned the part behind me though.
Exactly, that's what it is. So you can clean the other half next week. So yeah.
Okay, works for me.
You don't need to overdo it here. So yeah.
You guys will just have to forgive me because I'm not very organized
and stuff. So I posted my all the icons the other day, and I got some awesome comments about them. So thank you everyone for that.
Nice.
It was 1,000 SVG PNG format. It took a while to convert 1,000 SVG files into PNGs and organize them. I found a tool that can do it, but only 20 at a time. So I had to put them in folders with 20 in each folder, and then convert them folder by folder and organize it.
Another empty? No, that's my sky sphere.
Yeah, so that took a while.
There's a work in process. Yep. And
they're on
Patreon. Take a look on Patreon.
Yep.
Okay.
The latest post on Patreon is the all the new symbols.
Okay, is this my sky sphere? Yes, it is. What are you doing?
There's still a couple. So I've been working in. So I'm going to start painting forests today and working on the South Keep on Southlands, the South Keep area here. So I was working on getting all the trees and forests in place. So I'm going to start over here. This is the area where I was working on. Give you the link here too. So
wish I had another screen. I could have my stream up on my screen.
You should have, yeah.
To make sure that everything is going good. Yep, everything's good.
Yeah, I have 4 screens and it still feels crowded. So yeah.
Yeah, I wish Windows, when you get the thing too close to the top of the screen, so to speak, it won't let you resize the bottom of the resize your window, so I could put like 4 on each one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They disappear outside the border somehow? Or
yeah.
Turn that off. You can turn that function off. I turned that off the first day because I hate that when you get snap active. I don't have that. I have it. I use a tool called Power Tools or Power Toys, and that way you can have that function. So I hold down Shift, then I get the snap function.
Nice.
But I turn it off normally because I hate. Yeah, because I hate it when it I don't want. I want to be able to play snap into predefined sections, so to speak. So I predefined areas. That's super useful.
I'll have to work with that later. Try to figure out how to change that because it drives me nuts.
Yeah, Power Toys is available on the Windows Store for free, so it doesn't cost anything. So it's developed by Microsoft. It's a really cool set of tools.
Cool. I'll have to look into it.
Yep.
Back to what I was doing. I get sidetracked. Wait.
So right. Now I'm.
Close enough. Nobody's going to see that.
I need to open the 3D view here too. So let's do that while I'm at it here.
Let's see. Does he have? I'm running into the same thing where sometimes I can't find the right piece that I want.
And I want to see your desktop a little bit bigger, so I'm going to.
Does he have?
Open that in the browser here.
Because this is a different piece than I've used before, so I'm going to just do this to create the overhang. That looks gross. No.
I'm going to render my viewer of the area in 3D and then put that on my third screen here and let's see. Oh, you put slate on. These
Yeah,
roofs
I
are not.
decided to put slate on this one
That's
because
good.
I needed the inside corner here,
Yep.
and the thatch one doesn't have a very good inside corner.
Oh, but that I think that roof look even better. So that looks great.
Well, I don't
Also,
want.
those pe.
Sometimes wish they wouldn't do,
I guess it.
because it ends up to be so many pieces in it.
Yeah, but the good thing is that you can more easily kind of adjust it to whatever roof size you need, I guess.
That's about the only good thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just gets, that's why the Welcome Wench has so many pieces because
Yeah.
I have way too many pieces to play with there because
I'm going.
everything's done in little chunks.
Yeah. I'm going to start in this area, so we are one there, and then I'm going to open
That line's up there.
and show the map and show.
Hello, DM Jeremy. How are you doing?
Hello, GMJ. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I'm Abby Meyer, and I'm working on fantasy maps. It's Greyhawk mapping tonight, and Linda is working on 3D on the village of Hamlet. Just let me zoom in a little bit even further. This area here, under where it says Port Futerin here in my, so this part here, that's what I'm working on at the moment here in
quarter.
I'm going to paint the mask, the Ford mask. Now I just hope that my Wacom tablet is working here.
Wrong. The signal.
Yep.
So we have dual streaming doesn't hurt yours.
We have green.
Awesome.
Yep.
Perfect.
We have 0 dropped frames, and I'm watching your Video Ninja stream too, and I still have 0 dropped frames. So this is good.
Nice. And my stream's good on my channel. Nice.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear, Jeremy. That's awesome. Thank you so much for coming, and yeah, we're going to keep at it for some time tonight, I think. And so there will be a bit of,
but other than that, I'm good.
There will be Photoshop and QGIS tonight, I think. I will start out in Photoshop.
An Unreal Engine for me.
Yep, and don't hesitate to ask questions or whatever, because we will be here for several hours working on this. So, and today's first mission is to work on the placing the tree masks. What I'm actually doing here is actually just painting in where I want trees. I have already masks, so here is where in that confine, so to speak. Then I've actually textured them green and a bit of shading so they look good even when I paint them in. But the only thing I will use from this, what I do here, is the mask, and then I put that back into World Machine, and then I render proper little trees that stick out of the terrain with shading and all that, and textures and stuff. But to make it look good, I'm actually putting some exactly that's mask, and then when I put them in World Machine, I render little not Voronoi, but little I generate some noise, so to speak, that looks like tree knobs, and then I add that to the terrain, and then I add texture on it too. So that way, when I render the shading and stuff, it looks like little trees.
Yep. I was just curious because if I get a hold of it and put it in Unreal, then the texture is great. It gives me an idea where you have stuff, but I don't want to go too crazy with it. So.
No, and the thing is that the height map will be, I'm doing a mask, so it's separate, because if you want it in Unreal or something, you might want to have real or like virtual trees rather than just little knobs in the terrain. And that's where the mask comes in. So, yep. So I want to have maximum flexibility, so to speak, depending on the tool.
You are the queen of flexibility.
Oh, Jeremy, that looks awesome. A Salt Marsh campaign, that's cool. Is it 5e or what rule system do you use? Or the old school or something? Yeah. Let's see here. I'm going to start over here. This is up on the ridge, or up here. So this is a bit higher up, so I'm going to put in some evergreen stuff. Okay, this one will be 5e.
5e,
that's cool.
okay.
Yep.
Cool. I haven't played D&D in a while except for Anna's game, so
Yeah,
it's
which is kind of
I'm starting
a 5e variant. I kind of screw around with the rules quite a bit. So yeah, people that say that 5e can't be deadly have not played in my games. Yeah,
they have not met Anna Meyer.
yeah, I'm good at screwing things up. Is near TPK is the goal for every session. No, no, we've had a couple. We've even had 3 or 4 sessions without any combat even. So,
We
oh,
do a ton of role play in that,
oh
which is
yeah,
nice.
yeah. So there are. Sometimes we've had 4 or 5 sessions with almost continuous combat and exploration and a lot of lethal stuff. And now my Wacom needs to be rebooted here. So
Okay,
it's a little, and it's very sandboxy. So it depends on where you want to go.
yeah, that's what's nice about it. You know, you don't try to railroad us to go certain spots, except for we had to go to Need Fest, because it was the whole heart
That was
of this whole
orders
campaign. So,
from high up, so to speak. So
yep.
yep.
Pretty be deadly too. And starting a Castle and Crusade game in a year. Also going to look for old school. Ooh, Nightwing.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of the way you put
Um,
a little sand timing
right.
device on the table, and when that runs out after an hour, then your torches go out, and no one has
This is
dark
what I
vision, and
want.
you have to fumble around and stuff. So yeah.
Oops, hang on. I gotta get this one out of the ground.
First, I should
That's
probably
done.
get these.
This one needs to go.
Um, I need to put some bog texture in there. So let's do some bogs here. There
I
we go.
turned my campaign over to the co-DM, and he immediately got busy with work, so he couldn't keep going. And
Uh
since
huh.
then, it's just kind of fizzled, and I don't know
Yeah.
if it's going to stay going or not. We try, but
But it can be hard. My campaign been going now for over 3 years. It's at
yeah,
least
we've been doing really well.
fairly regular. So yep.
We've had our days where we haven't been able to play because of people being gone or
Hmm.
work or something, but
Yep.
majority of the time we play.
Yep. Hello, Jay. Welcome. Thank you so much for lurking. Yep. Oh, you haven't lurked yet. You just said hi. Welcome. Awesome.
Not
Thank
a
you.
turkey yet.
Yep.
He's gonna get there though.
Yeah. Lurking is perfectly acceptable here. So
Perfectly acceptable.
yep.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. We had to tweak things in the setup a bit. That's why we got on early, because I anticipated it would be more trouble with it than.
Which,
Yeah.
yep,
And now
which
there's
is a-okay with me.
yeah there's a couple of more
Let's see. I
little
need
areas here
this
that I can
one,
put on. There we go.
and I want to do this. Nande.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. Yep. This is yep.
And Anna was gracious enough to dual stream for me.
Yep.
So I now have the streams also showing up on my YouTube channel, which is
Mhm.
really nice.
Yep. Oh, thank you. Yep. So this is my future standard for Greyhawk maps, so to speak. This is the porta potty scale that I'm working on for. I'm testing it out for my campaign maps, and then it will be I will work it out as the my plans for next year and the write up for this year and stuff. So because it's been a tumultuous year, so to speak, both for D&D and the role playing game world, and also for me personally. But so there's been a lot of downs, but it also been some really cool ups. So it's been an all over the place year, so to speak, and I have some really cool plans for next year and going forward. So I'm about finalizing them and putting it out there. So hurry up, there's not that much more time. So but worst case scenario will be between Christmas and New Year's.
And I need to step up my work on Patreon if I'm going to do it, because I haven't done squat. So,
Yeah, that's the thing.
of course, with Kobold sending me stuff every week, it seems like
Well,
now it's
you
like,
you
holy
have
cow.
another job, meaning this is my job, so I need to.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm.
Kobold sent me the orders to update a bunch of their stuff
Uh-huh.
to.
Now I'm
I
going.
don't like redoing other people's work, and it's really hard to do
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know what you can get rid of and what you can't without really irritating them or pissing off people that bought the content before.
Oh yeah, it's.
So
Yeah, now I have a sparse, and this is the tricky thing in Photoshop. There's two, brush and pencil. And pencil is when you want things that are only black and white, so to speak. So if I go in here and look at the fuzzy edges, even if you have like hard edges, there's still a little bit, there's still a bit of fussiness. The pencil is hard. It's black. It's one or the other, so to speak. So you get hard edges. And when it comes to trees, when World Machine and the masks, I want hard masks. So that's why I'm using the the um, the pencil tool rather than the brush tool, and texture, and to get enough variation, because I don't want to have a repeatable pattern of trees. I want the trees to be naturally different, spread all over the place, so to speak. And that's why I'm using, in this case, I want to have single trees spread out here and there, and a little bit everywhere. So I'm just putting that in here.
Nice.
And every time I'm putting the brush down, you get a different, like here I got a blob, here I got another type of blob, here I get spread out, and also the pressure, and only got 3 or 4 little tiny trees. There I got a circle of them and stuff. And so this is where I want to place them. I try to place them in areas here where I have hills and little nooks and crannies, so to speak, not out in the open, because that it might be a little bit too harsh. So I'm trying to place them there where they are a little bit shielded from weather and wind especially.
Pardon me, guys. My throat is still
Yep.
gooping it up.
Yeah,
Got
but
all
I
kinds of
also
problems.
have this mask here, so only the white areas I can place them in. So the black areas, even if I try to paint there will be no trees there. So if I paint here, for instance, there I can keep painting here, there will be none will show up. But if I paint a little bit down here, oh, that's the wrong layer. So here, if I paint here, there will be a few, yeah, a few, and more down here. So if I paint here, there will be none, and then I paint here, and there will be some. But now I think I've done enough spread out. Now I'm going to choose Forest 2, I think. These are a bit more clustered, so I can get, like here you can see I can get clusters, but that was not where I want to put them, so I remove them. So I want some clusters down here at the here down by the. Hello, Justinius. Welcome back. Great to have you here again. I have a little bit too many trees, so I'm going to increase the brightness of the texture, which means that now I get a little bit less density here.
And since we're having a fantastically nice winter here, I may try to go to Greyhawk.
Oh, that will be.
So
yeah.
if that holds, I might start making plans. So
okay,
it's just one of those things, you know, with Mother Nature as fickle as she can be, it's not always easy.
Yep.
And I don't like the way he does that. Icky.
So now it's time to go on the northern slopes here, and I'm going to put evergreen trees here.
Sorry guys, I gotta mute myself for a second.
Yep.
Yep, every time.
Yep. And now it's time to have sparse trees again here, and I'm just gonna put a few sparse here on the slopes. Trees have a tendency of growing up on slopes up like that, both because there's more water and stuff running down a slope than it is on flat ground usually, and secondly, there is also usually too high, then you have no trees and it gets too cold. But on a flat plain you usually have more moisture and rain and stuff, and moisture in the air up on the slopes a bit. That's why you often have more trees on hills, and it's also more inaccessible. It's easier for people to go out next door and cut down a tree and make firewood of it. You normally don't go up in the hills and take, so that's why. Yep. Okay, got Vecna out, that's cool. And here we have more bogs, so I'm going to catch them while I'm at it here. I'm going to change pencil, and then I'm going to these boggy areas here, because I want most of these little lakes to be dried up lakes that have turned into bogs, which is very common in temperate climates. Not so much down in the tropics. There you have swamps if it's wet enough, and then they turn into grassland or flatland when it dries out. But in colder climates, bogs are more common. Assume it's cold enough for
Come on, quit
some
selecting.
bogs here, so I'm putting them in.
And yeah, that'll work.
So now I can deselect that one, and I can go back to forest,
So
and I can then go back to the evergreen here again. Let me just take. We can see here. It is, oops, these northerly slopes here and here.
Go up just the tiniest bit with this one.
So it's this area here I'm working on right now. So
Nope, that's too high.
So I'm going to start fairly high up on the slopes here.
And okay, that's
and
good.
put
So
in
now
some just spread out little small
that,
clusters of
so I don't accidentally grab it.
and these are evergreen, like pines and firs and stuff. And a few more up there, and a few up here on the top. Builded valleys that are fairly high up, so the climate is a bit more harsh up there, and it's also not that much soil, which is another benefit for.
No, I don't want to do that yet.
That's when the evergreens can compete with the deciduous trees. And there's more boggy areas, so I'm discovering more and more of these boggy areas. I'm going to do a flat select again and switch over to the other one here. Then I can just put these in.
Should be able to do that. Yep.
It's good to be able to just shift tool quickly here and just paint these in.
Okay. And I'm just playing with my digital Legos again.
Yep. And the important bit is to have them in various stages. So some of them are, like this one is only half bog, these are lakes, and the whole, and some of them, because even bogs can dry out after a while and turn into just flat grassland or forest or something. So there should be the whole range of, and there's another one, so I need to reselect and pick them out here. So there we go. I have one, oh, that one, I want to turn that one into a lake. There we go.
All right. Sorry, I'm not more talkative, guys. I'm just focusing on what
I'm
doing.
babbling it like crazy here, so don't worry. Yeah.
That's all right.
So
you have more interesting stuff to babble about than I do, so.
I'm not so sure. You're working on that cool-looking roof there, so.
I try.
Yeah. So now I'm going to do that one, and I'm going to decrease the number of trees, and then larger groups of trees here and there. And now, there we go. I can tell that Photoshop was lagging behind here a bit, so. So I'm going to take some of these that are specially secluded areas and add in some extra trees there, so you get small little copses here and there, trees, especially in areas that are inaccessible, where it's more difficult for people to go up and chop down firewood and stuff and use it for building materials. So that's why I'm putting them up here in
group view, because you need to be brought down just
I try to stay away from the top, the ridge, because I don't want trees up on the ridge, because that's not normally, very few trees grow in these kind of on these exposed areas. They grow where they're shielded from wind and wet. Trees here on the southern side a little bit more than on the northern side. Now it's time to do some sparse trees here on the southern slopes. Even more on them here.
Okay, and then, ooh, this is that weird,
here we go.
Angle that I'm going to be fighting. Okay, now comes the fun part. Trying to figure out how to fill in with what I've got. But I will do the best I can. This one, and that one. Oops, wrong button.
So that was the evergreen trees here. So I can have a few here by a few little copses of evergreen trees here and there. And then as a last hurrah for the evergreens, I'm just gonna land a few here. So that will do it. Now it's time to, that was deciduous trees. Okay, I have a few deciduous then. Okay. Now we can be more determined. So I'm going to put in this, and there we go. Now I can be a bit more targeted with the deciduous. I'm going to save here while I'm at it too. The next goal, there are some of these lakes here where I will continue around and place them near, because they along streams and near lakes, that's where you get more trees, because then trees have more readily accessible water. So and because this is a landscape, I assume, or I've set up Shieldlands to be an area that is slightly inland climate, so it's slightly on the dry side, so to speak. So it's not particularly rainy. So it's a little bit. It's more like some Midwestern prairie states, so to speak. It's okay, so little bit on the dry side.
It's easier than.
That means that you don't have forests everywhere. So it's often in a lot of areas is too dry for trees to grow. So that's why you get this kind of semi-open or mostly open landscape with some trees along streams and rivers and in shielded places. Okay, now we can add some trees around here. Now I'm just gonna double check my.
This one.
Yep, good. I have a mask here, so that means that I can just paint over.
All right, there we go.
Now I'm painting on the wrong again. So there we go. I can just paint alongside the lake.
Wait a minute, you're
it will be
in there. Why are you in that set?
And you see these edges here are a little bit rocky and stuff. It's up from the lake. And then I'm also using some of the texture here. So if I get greener, more flat areas. And then we have a couple of these little things again. So I forgot the bogs, so now I'm going to go to bogs, select flat, and go back in here again and fill them in.
Oh, that's because it's a group. Duh. That's why it's giving me. So
I have a lake there
this
too.
This is where I need to be, but that's not where I want to be.
And then we have a couple of bogs.
All right.
And then
there we go. Now I'm back where I need to be. Grr. Threw myself for a loop there for a second. I was like, wait a minute, why is it showing me the engine stuff? I don't need to see the engine stuff.
Yeah.
I need this guy right
we
here.
have more lakes here, so I'm going to now, instead of having 100% lake, I'm going to have 20% lake, because that way I can paint these areas slightly more blue.
Double check, make sure that's going good. Yep, it sure is. Okay.
Can turn these slightly more lakey, and that one I can turn that one more, because I like the results so bad. So I'm going to make. Oh, just as I did that, I discovered there's one more down here. Thankfully, I can work while I'm saving. So I'm going to turn that one into.
And I need another inside corner.
There we go.
Here.
There's a couple of more.
Where's it at?
So I'm going to turn that one into a lake.
Inside corner. Where are you? There you are.
And then I'm going to. There we go. And I'm going to turn the other ones into bogs.
180. And
We have a bog there, a couple of bogs here. There's hardly no end. There's like hundreds of these small little bogs and lakes to fill in. I could have done more of this in World Machine, and I will do more of it in the future, so I'm still safe side and get the results I wanted. That's why I'm doing a lot of this by hand, because I want to be able to sculpt the landscape exactly the way I want to. And in the future I will introduce more and more procedural, because I can do this programmatically or procedurally in World Machine and Gaia much more than much faster.
Piece highlighted. What are you doing?
So,
yeah, but for some reason
it looks great.
The darn thing is trying to select my sky sphere instead of the piece I'm working with, and it's being a poop. Stop it. There. I'm going to have to get rid of the collapsed roof, though, because the angle he has that makes for this roof
it doesn't
is
work
not working well.
Okay.
It's not working well. Actually, I'm running into a big problem here because I'm going to have a really tall peak. Actually, it'll work. I think I can make it work. I think
to add some sparse trees there.
Yeah, I think I can. I'm just going to have to get rid of that piece.
Up here.
Stop it. I'm not trying to get rid of the sky sphere. What are you doing, Unreal? I don't understand. Why is it trying to delete the sky sphere? That's weird. Grrr. Alright. Sky sphere is not referenced. I'm not trying to delete the sky sphere. Why are you doing that? Alright, I'm going to save this and restart Unreal because it's being a doofus.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to.
I have this piece highlighted, and I don't have my transform arrows here. For one thing, it's confusing me.
Yeah.
And number two, every time I try to delete it, it tries to delete this piece way up here. So, oh, wait a minute. I see what it did. Why did it? No, it didn't do that. What did it do?
Sounds like a reboot time. Yep.
Well, I'm trying to figure out why it's selecting the sky sphere, and I don't know why it's doing it. Unless I accidentally grouped it with the rest of it.
That might be.
Which I did. I did.
See, that's always good when you figure out.
Right, get rid of those. That's what I did. Okay.
Yep.
Crisis averted, and Linda's not going to panic anymore.
That's good. Yep.
Grrr,
and here comes now, and try to follow these little like creek beds, the detents or like in the terrain, so to speak. So I'm following the lines where if water when it rains, a stream in or a creek in them, and some of them like this they turn big enough, and so I'm following areas where there will be more water than other areas, and these there's more things to turn into bogs here, but now I'm going to turn them into swamps instead of bogs, because I have bogs, swamps, and lakes, so I can turn them into either. So I'm going to turn these into swamps here.
And then I can't believe I grouped the sky sphere in there. No wonder I was giving issues. Grr, silly.
Back to trees again. Trees. Forest is it, and there we go. Oh, and I forgot that one, and I forgot these three. Damn, what is it with me today?
We're both having issues. Holy cow!
Yeah, well, the thing is that I'm going to turn on see the details anymore, and that's a cool in Photoshop. You can turn off the extras, so I don't show the extras. It's still selected, but I can't see these little marching ants. I think they're usually called marching ants. That indicates where things are selected. So it's really nasty, because all of a sudden I want to paint in areas and I can't. So make sure you turn on the extras like this after a while, because otherwise you run into trouble. I've done that many times. But sometimes it's good to have the mask, but don't show it, so to speak. So you can see things properly and still have the benefit of the mask.
So I don't accidentally grab these pieces.
That was not what I wanted. I wanted to press Alt here.
I don't have that.
No, okay, we have
So that's right.
We have this area here that is actually a huge lake that I've turned into a flat area. So but it's masked off here as water. So I'm actually going to fill in this in the forest mask so I can put trees there. And now it's time to make the brush much bigger here. And I'm just going to fill in this area here. I don't need to be that precise. I just...
Too close.
And now I'm going to turn off.
That's all lined up, so I'm going to leave that alone.
So there we go.
Yep. And it's not lined up. Why are you not lined up?
Because I want to be able to place trees wherever I want in this that is no longer a lake. And that's another thing I'm going to look into World Machine. If I can do this procedurally, I will be able to get a mask that is more up to date and requires less TLC afterwards. But that's the thing, you these things, there's so much going into these and these new features and so on, step by step. Is like software, new versions. It's if you start messing around too much, you end up introducing more bugs than solving things. So that's why I'm doing it incrementally. And now I need to see if I want to do this area or not. Okay, nope, that area is good as it is, so I can leave that one. I'm just going to do this part here.
And actually, I'm not going to do that quite yet. Second guessing myself again, and I shouldn't be doing that because it usually ends up biting me in the butt.
Yeah, but we're all learning all the time. But I want to turn this type of mapping into routine, so that way I can just keep doing it rather than having to invent it.
Yes, this.
It's still very much... These are the first or second area I'm doing, so I'm still kind of learning it. But once it's set up, I can do future areas much faster because then I have the setup already, so I can just keep adding to it.
I'm going to group.
Here we go. So now we have a chance to go in here and paint the...
And I'm going to group.
There we go. So first I'm going to paint some more trees, just a little bit here and there. Oh, I love this, because areas here.
Patch this hole.
I'm going to make a whole little forest here of what used to be like a swampy lake bottom, and now it's almost dried out completely, and there's this little stream that leads away from the area here. So I'm just gonna... I think I want these streams end a little bit bad there, so I'm actually going to go in and fix those. So I'm going to go in here, and I have a little brush for that. Tributaries. There we go. Tributaries. So I'm just gonna go in here and make that one 2 pixels.
Did I use here?
And I'm going to turn off the trees, and then I'm just gonna go in here and it's actually 3 pixels, and I'm just gonna continue it out here. I have another one going south here.
And what piece is this?
And then I can just add a couple of them. I'm just gonna add one going that direction and another one going in that direction. So now I can turn the trees on again. Then I go in here. Okay, now I can add some trees that follow the little creek bed here.
The one I used, but where's the piece?
I want to have a few more trees. So I'm going to texture, and I'm darkening the texture a bit so I get a few more trees. And one of the tricks when you're working with a Wacom like this is to make sure you don't do all the strokes in the same direction, because then they start looking uniform. So do some in this direction, some in this direction, some in that direction. So you vary the angle and the onset and stuff, because that's part of the seeding. So sometimes a lot of, and since I'm left-handed predominantly, I do this Wacom and pens usually with my left hand, and I using my right hand for my mouse. So in that sense, I'm ambidextrous. But so that means that since I often have a tendency of taking swipe with the pen from left to right, so I have to make sure that I do the opposite quite often too, and then up and down and stuff. So that way I get the.
Okay, now we're just gonna do.
And here I do a little bit from the left to the right and from the right to the left.
This one.
And then I have these little other ones. These are two actually show up here, but there's still water. It's just that the stream is not 5 feet wide, so it's like a tiny little creek that are inches instead of feet. But it's enough for water for more for trees to start growing.
Okay,
so I'm just following sparsely with trees here, and then I can have down here.
Okay,
you
so
can
I'm
have
gonna
more
stretch
trees
the center one.
Okay, so are you still? Oh, you're working on walls now here. Yeah.
Yep. Trying to figure out how to make this fit, because this piece here is slightly bigger than the one below it, and it's kind of irritating me.
Yeah. So here I'm going to follow these little extended.
I'm irritated quite easily tonight for some reason.
Well, I'm that way often.
And
yeah.
Maybe because I was playing 7 Days to Die earlier and trying to record it, and it was just not going well.
Oh, so, okay. I'm in a good mood because I had a good flight. I flew from Dar es Salaam to Lusaka in Zambia. Today, and I'm in Africa in Microsoft Flight Sim now. So.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Lusaka, gotcha. And the scenery was spectacular, and the weather was really cool. There was some nice clouds, puffy clouds here and there, and it was really nice. And so it was a good flight, and had some good podcasts and audiobooks and stuff I listened to. It was about 2-hour flight, an hour and 40 minutes. And then
nice.
And then that was this morning, and now just before the stream I took out my Vertigo for like a 20 minutes looking at Lusaka and the city. And I must say I was impressed. The Microsoft Flight Sim scenery of Lusaka, an African capital. It looked like Lusaka from, if I look at it on YouTube videos and pictures and stuff. It was really, it got they captured the feel of it really nice. Well. So I was really impressed. The lighting was great, and the textures were good. There were very few artifacts that threw it off, and they were they were uniform across the whole city. Often you get with satellite photos, you get one is taken in spring and another one in fall, and they have different colors and stuff. But there was a lot of matching. There was no weird off colors that made it look like computer graphics. So I was blown away. It was super cool.
That's always a good thing because, you know, like I said before, you get the computer games that don't take the time to actually color match and make things look really well. And it's just...
Yep.
And that's the biggest complaint I have about Farm Sim is some of the map makers do not blend things.
Yep.
Like all of your colors in your map blend nicely together. You don't have any vibrant greens or vibrant pinks.
Yeah, but you see, I have areas here that are a little bit questionable, so to speak. So I need to go in but I'm aware of them, and I'm going to go in and tweak them. Once I have the features in place, I'm going to go in and give them a final tweak where some of them are slightly off. Here is an area for inspiration. I think, so some of these areas are off and so on. So I'm going to go in and go over and tweak these areas when I've painted all the rivers and the roads and all that stuff. And I have the final, all the details there. That's when I go in and do the final tweak, so to speak, in order to get the colors right. But I'm 80% there with this.
Nice.
But I want some variation. That's the cool thing. I want the colors here to be different from the colors here, etc. But they look a little bit too off. But I love the detail here, for instance. I love these little details, like a little rock there, and there's some fields and stuff. So yeah. So
okay, this is gonna look.
And there needs to be forests and stuff down there too.
Strange,
So, yeah.
but that's the only way I can do it with this set.
Yeah. Oh, but that looks good.
Mm.
Maybe not the best roof in the world, but definitely
Well,
good
it's the
enough.
way they designed it.
Yeah.
With the pieces I'm working with, if it was narrow like this one here, I could do it no problem. But
Yeah.
since
But the thing is, we all constrained by the tools and the data standards and all that. So yeah.
Yep.
And
So I'm doing
here,
the best I can, but
yeah,
if I was custom building it, it would be no problem. But
yeah. And here we
I'm
have a
not.
lake and we have a river that ends there. So I'm going to fix that river while I'm at it because I have the
Just gonna
tributary
do
there.
that
And I'm going to add a little.
that, and then we're
I'm
gonna
going to fill in this bit here. And this is one of the things that World Machine have decided that the outflow from the lake is so small that river hallway, but to me it doesn't look good. So I'm filling in that missing spot there. And here we have some other stuff. So I'm going to
this would be an ugly trap
here
for
and
stuff.
And here we have
right.
the. I'm going to hide the extras, and then I'm going to go to lakes.
This.
I'm going to
What I
add
need
in
to do is the right direction.
And then I'm going
The sun direction is really hard to control on here because you can't get the thing exactly where you want it.
Yeah. And then add some.
And it's one of those things where you hit a certain point and it won't go any further the direction. It's like
Yeah.
So, oh well, it works. But it's a little complicated once in a while when you try to get the color or the shading that you want.
Yeah.
So it works, but we're just gonna have to do this. And I see my peak is a little offline, but whatever. I'll fix that with a board or something. All right, well, that's the way that's gonna have to look because it's done goofy by the artists.
Okay. Yeah. Then we have a little.
Like I said, if I had done a custom build on this, I would have done it differently.
Yeah.
But I really, unless, no, because that won't match up. I was thinking I could use the porch roof. It's a different slant. We'll go.
Okay.
All right. Well, I got to put the trim on the edges here, and that should
hang
be
on a second. Is this a farmhouse or what was this?
This is the it is, where is it? The herdsman. The herdsman's building right here.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's got some really weird. Then I just push this one over, and then we're gonna stretch it. Nobody'll know. Wrong way. No. Gimme. Thank you. Wrong way. This way. Of course, I move it over and then it stretches it the opposite direction. Okie dokie. There we go. And then I got a couple more pieces of trim to go on, and this one should be done too. This one.
I'm bog hunting here, so
you're what hunting?
I'm looking for bogs to fill in. So
oh,
I realized I forgot this area. I overlooked.
I've never heard it called bog hunting before.
No, okay. I call it that because I'm looking for bogs and to fill them.
Makes sense. I just had never heard it before. I was like, okay.
Yep.
New terminology.
We have a lake there, so there we go.
Created by Anna Meyer.
Yep, bog hunting.
Oops, wrong way. Go up. There you go.
So.
And you are a bit too high up.
A few more here. And that one, it looks like it deserves to be a lake.
And then put you in place. Now, before I can mess this up, I'm going to group everything I have done, because sure as heck I'll end up messing up the roof somehow.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put this piece as part of the roof. Regroup, because it's very easy to grab the wrong piece once in a while, and I don't want to do that. Yeah, it's not too bad, actually. You
So,
can't leave them as groups when you do the merging, but I can do that without too much trouble now.
and here we have a whole tributary that I
Um,
forgot to
nope,
add,
that's
so
the wrong
let's do
direction.
that while I'm at it. I suspected that I missed it, and I did, so let's
Okay,
go
I
in
need
here and
this to do the roof point.
yeah, it's done. So let's start here with 2 pixels over here. Come on, there we go. Oh,
There we go. And
I should start
it's
with
in the right spot this way.
3 pixels here then. Okay.
There you go. And then I need... Does he have a short one of that? No, he does not. Here's another one where I think I'm going to run into trouble. Grrr.
I think I have some function here in the brush. So if I do this, is it... No? Ah! See? That's... See? I fell for it. I had the... I forgot to turn off the mask. So I had... That's the problem. That was exactly what I talked about 10 minutes. Now I fell for it myself here. So I wonder why. Now I can turn on
I'm gonna
shape dynamics again here. There we go.
No, I don't want that one. I want this one. Alright, and then I can get rid of this one. Because it's doubling it, and that's no reason to it.
Yeah.
And then I want to duplicate you. Turn you 180.
Pixels. And navigate in this little river valley here between outcroppings and boulders and all sorts of stuff. This is good eye-hand coordination training. And I might need to have that tributary. There we go. Then we manually fill in this lake here. There we go.
Why are you dropping colors here? There we go. Okay, now add these to the mix here so I don't...
Yeah. Okay, now I need to have that one so I can see where it's...
I don't have an internal piece there. Or do I? I need an inside corner. It's just itty bitty.
Yeah, and I have another one. There's some leftovers there, but I'm going to fix that in a minute here. Leftover from previous attempts here.
He doesn't have it.
Because this area, I didn't know what I was doing so much, but I wanted to keep part of that terrain because that's the one we started to adventure in when we started our Shell End campaign, or the one you're in.
Okay.
And that way I kept it, and now it's biting me back because I have ancient old textures blended with new ones here, and that's when I get some of these little issues.
When you get all the artifacts and things going
on?
on?
I get a few little things here, ugly bits here and there that I need to fix. Right, but sometimes it can be cool to have them in, because landscapes have some ugly bits here and there too. But
oh, you bet they do.
Yep. I won't just forget to fix. Yep.
Aha, I see.
Yep. And now we can go up to 4 pixels here. There's quite a big difference between 3 and 4. 2 and 3 is not that much of a difference, but 3 and 4 is a huge difference. So therefore I need to start it kind of gently here. So
what does that look like? Why are you giving me weird?
Oh, thank you, Troy. You too. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Absolutely.
I hope it's gearing up for.
I'm losing track of chat because I'm so focused on the roof, and it's like,
I just the good thing is I can keep an eye on what you're doing, and then I have chat on the way, so to speak. So when I take a glance at what you're doing, then I have chat on the way. And so I think we're good.
I think we're golden. I'm
Yeah.
just going to check my stream to make sure it's still going nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Excellent connection.
Oh, good. Good. Yep.
Nice. And thank you again for setting that up.
No, it was good. So that's no biggie.
And as long as it runs smooth on both sides, we're good to go.
Yeah, and I'm stressing it because I realized I haven't even turned off Dropbox, so we're good. So I'll should definitely turn off Dropbox. So there we go.
Yeah,
because it's very
thinking is a pain in the tuchus when it really decides to do it. It's just like,
Yep.
oh, no. You don't need to do that right now.
Yep.
No, that's porch roof. I want the actual
That's
roof.
normally part of my checklist, but since we was screwing around with the setup before, I forgot about it. So that was good.
Oh,
so now it might
wait a minute. I just discovered the piece I need right there. Grrr. It's really hard to see some of these pieces.
Yep.
No, that's not the piece I need. I thought it was.
In here.
Darn it.
And I put the tributary mask, that is just a black and white mask that I put in Brighton, so I get these white lines. And that's another trick. So if you have a mask like this, it actually looks, well, ignore the trees and the rivers. It's actually a black file with white lines for the actual rivers, little rivers and creeks. So I use the lighten mode because that way I hide the black and only see the white. And then I put that, now I'm painting on the mask, which I shouldn't do. So go back.
And Anna's making me look like a imposter with all of her cool stuff she's talking about.
Well, I'm just trying to explain.
I know you are. I'm just giving you grief.
Yeah, little.
I gotta grief you now and then. I don't get to talk to you that much anymore.
We need to chat more often, that's for sure.
Okay, yeah, you're so busy with your stuff and I'm busy with my stuff.
Yeah, but I'm just sitting here, so we should.
I'm kind of sitting here doing tedious stuff too. Editing Photoshop or you know, editing text, getting rid of squares that are not supposed to be there. And
yep. Okay, now I have these little areas. First, we have a lake here. I need to pay attention to the lake. We have an area here that looks a little bit in this and the river down there. So let's go back to forest, and I think I had that set up here to around the lake area.
Push that way just a little more.
Around here and continue up
there
a bit.
Oof, that was a weird roof.
Yeah.
I got it though.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And
then we have that flat area around the lake that was probably marshy back in the day, and then slowly settled with more sediment. And we here.
He doesn't have windows. Okay.
A few trees here.
Right,
then
so
we add a few scattered ones here and there.
There's the piece I'm looking for.
Now I have to wait a few seconds because Photoshop is saving in the background now and then, and that means that sometimes even my computer can stumble and buffer now and then, so then I have to wait a few seconds for it to recover.
It says, just wait a second, I'll be right with you.
Yep. My old computer did that all the time. This one only does it like once every half hour or 20 minutes or so when I'm working on really big files, and this one is probably about 30 gig like that in size. Yeah, because I have so many layers and layers. It's like 40-50 layers on this one, and it's about 20,000 pixels across. So
wow.
It's quite a beast of a file, but it's manageable. So that's why I can edit 16K, and I also have some of the surrounding areas as well. So I have the areas that are within the lines that are outside of the outer guidelines here. That is outside of the 16K. So I post that those are the surrounding areas that I post in order to make sure that things actually match from one tile to the next, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah. So that way it's only to where were we? We were here at this little lake here. These places have no name yet. names yet, so time to save again.
And that's not going to look right. There's
Yep.
another. Oh.
And I turned off or paused my Dropbox. Now we have only 0.3% dropped frames.
Nice.
So that helped.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay,
I find to work with stuff like this, I find it very soothing. It's wonderful. If I can listen to good music, audiobook, or something like that in the background, it's great. Or like when we are chatting and stuff, it's wonderful. It's only that after I've been and stretch my legs or go out with the dog or something for half an hour, and then I can be back at my desk again, and then I stand up for a bit. But when I want to be a bit hunched over my Wacom tablet, so when I do doodle with it, I don't like to go doodle standing up. That's doesn't normally work.
I don't like to work standing up that much either. It's
sometimes
the
I like
wrong angle for me.
Yeah, sometimes I love to do writing and stuff like that, typing on the keyboard intensely for an hour, or because I need to do some mouse things and the occasional little keyboard thing, and it's usually a lot of thinking and not so much hands-on, because it's more brain work than actually keyboard work, so to speak, or mouse work, and that I can do standing up really well. So when I'm working in World Machine, I usually stand up a lot, but when I'm sitting doodling in Photoshop, I usually want to sit down way more, and typing is somewhere in between.
Okay, and that one there.
There's a little bit of a tiny little...
Oh, I have more roof trim to do. Grr, I've missed it.
So I'm going to
That's alright.
We'll add some bogs for that one. There, I think it was.
And
was it that one? Yep, that's the one. And switch back to pencil. And now I can add some trees here and there. And in between here I can add quite a bit of trees. There will be some sort of settlement here down by the lake or here area, because so I need to add some, let's do that here while I'm at it. I can add some more farmland. Then I need less hardness, and I need, I can have shape dynamics, I guess. I'm going to increase that significantly, and then I'm going to paint in some more areas of a little bit of civilization here, so to speak, so there will be some more, a little bit of presence of, I'll try to do it all everywhere, so I try to follow the rocky, pebbly areas in between and stuff, so, and then add in some areas with fields and stuff. There we go. And I normally don't do 100% because I want to be able to gradually, so I do 40. If I want a lot of it, I put like 50-60%. If I just want a little bit, I put 20%. That means that it's non-destructive. I can just paint black, and then I slowly, I can, that way I can and hide it again. So I can show and hide it as needed, which makes it very, very useful. And I can just go back and forth here a bit. So that I created blends really well, and I put an overlay blend mode and on instead of just normal, because that, and then I tweak the saturation and the contrast and the brightness and stuff until I get the result I want, because it depends very much on the underlying texture. So these settings vary from area to area, and I can tweak that file, and so that means that it never really truly repeats. So each of these fields are kind of unique. which makes it really, really cool because I don't want to have repetitive patterns. I want them to be similar but not identical, which is kind of tricky. Now it's back to trees again, and then now I'm going to put quite a bit of trees along the little river here. And this river is, it's about, what is it? 1, 2, 3, about five pixels across, about 20 feet across. So it's enough that you get wet and you need to swim a couple of of laps, or you need to take a couple of strokes of swimming in order to. So you get across is probably about 5 feet or 10 feet, probably between up to about 10 feet deep in the deepest. So technically, I guess you can drown in it if you're really unlucky and work hard at it. If you fumble your swim roll multiple times and fail your decks
you
and
fumble
stuff.
your swim check.
Yep, and fail
your
decks and stuff like that, then you might be in trouble. Yep. Feet, that means that if it's only, these are 1 or 2 pixels, these are from 5 to 10 feet wide, and then 15, 20 feet, so to speak. So this one is about 20 feet wide. So these smallest ones you can jump across. These are like 2 pixels, so 1, 2 pixels. And here we have a whole bunch of never-ending, all the bogs and stuff. So let me do bogs here.
All right, just about done with this one.
So, and deselect. There we go. Perfect. And I'm going to do this one. I'm going to actually, I think it stops a little bit too abrupt. What the heck? There we go. Something wrong there. So now I can actually hide it here by, oops, that was wrong one. Use black. So here we go. I can actually paint in and out and let it fade out into the terrain.
All right, there we go. I think it's done.
And now I need to actually,
except for the doors,
paint away so it.
Too bad, I guess.
That's better, I think. So now
what do you think, Anna?
That looks perfect. Damn,
I think it's pretty much done.
It's one neat farmer. He really kept his house neat and tidy and well maintained.
Well, you know, I'm working with these pieces, and sometimes they don't make the right pieces that quite go with the curves and stuff of the, like the sagging roof part.
But I love the L roof. You really got that to it. Yeah. Oh, that looks
nice
gorgeous.
And square.
Even up close, it looks great.
He did a real nice job texturing that one. The only piece I really don't like is this right here, but there's not a whole lot I can do with it.
Oh, you mean that edge piece on the roof?
This end piece on the roof here.
That looks natural.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. One roof
I guess
is
I'm
taller
used to
than the others.
I'm used to the L-shaped roofs being, joined like we do it in modern times. So
yeah, but you see, he built one house and then
built on another piece.
Yeah,
or something.
I mean, come on, it's it's there.
It's fantasy. I know. I'm just stuck in the new stuff.
Now I'm going to.
I need
I'm going to add
Where's this player start?
Oops, there we go. I'm going to
add
basic one here.
Player start. Nope, not a trigger box. Player start. Because I don't think I have
little flat boggy areas that needs to be filled.
Let's see how it looks from Quinn's height.
There we go. That one here. That one.
Again, it's too tall, but I'll fix that when I get it into the
that one
thing. This is a barn door, so I want that a little wider.
Yeah.
And here's the house door. Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
All right, so now I need to get everything selected and to test it. I'm just going to lift up. Nope, I missed a piece. I missed a piece over here.
I'm going to make that one a swamp. There we go.
Is it this one right here?
You can make that one a swamp too, and that one a swamp.
That I missed. Groups, regroup. Yep, it's good. All right. And tools, merge actors. We're gonna merge. We're gonna replace the source, and we're gonna put it in my stuff. Merged buildings, and we're gonna call it merged. I don't remember what number it is. What number? The herdsman is 25, I believe.
Yeah.
So we want 025 herds.
Now I can go back to 100% because then I get a sharpest image. That's another little trick. If you want to, you're unsure is things look blurry and stuff like that, or you want the maximum quality of the image in Photoshop, make sure you work at 100% zoom, because that way you get the sharpest monitor and resolution and stuff. You can get blurriness and stuff because Photoshop need to interpolate. Needs to start guessing and filling in pixels and stuff, so that's makes it a little bit different.
You now are going to get your house.
Okay.
Or your barn. I need to put a chimney so it sits like this.
Yeah, and here we have a little. So we put some trees around that one. Put some trees here.
Quite the right angle.
And some trees there. Now I'm zooming in because I want to see how many trees I actually put in. A little bit better there. So there we go. Here we have some dried out little creek beds. So I'm going to put in some trees here. We have some more bogs and stuff there, I guess. But yeah, I think it might be time to. How long have we gone? We have gone 1:30. So yeah, I'll do some bogs and a little bit. Reselect and
delete
hide.
That. And I'm going to pull it
here
this way just a little bit.
So that was okay.
And get it up out of the ground.
Extras and decent.
Alrighty, that's done. Now let's do a play and see how bad that looks. Wait, herdsman's this way. Right here.
And we have more bogs, so let's, while I'm at it.
Okay, the barn door's pretty big.
Reselect.
I'm gonna shorten you up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the doors were not 10 feet tall in medieval times, I don't believe.
Well, that might have a barn door that was 10 feet big.
And where's my
enough to get the cart in? Yeah.
I'm looking primarily at at Quinn to see how god awful huge the human door is on the area.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, where am I at? Right there. I got lost. Here it is.
Oh, you lost in Hamlet? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of
awesome. None of the accoutrements are out there yet, so I don't have the references. Okay,
oh,
so
you have
that's
a map.
enough to get anything through. Yep. Running around in Hamlet is a totally different thing, though. Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah.
Make it 0.8. All right, there you go, guys. The herdsman's got a building now. And that's the herdsman. I forget which one. I think that's the druid hut I made last week.
Yeah.
The druid hut.
It looks like the Jeru's hut. Yeah.
And
it's amazing. I adventured there when I was like 15, 16, 17 years old, and now I'm getting to see it
nice.
in 3D for the first time. It's kind of awesome. Well, I've seen other incarnations of it, but this one is gearing up to be the best.
The wheel and the Wainwright. Okay, so
Yeah.
I picked up a new pack of 3D assets tonight. Maybe I'll give it a. It was on the Christmas sale, so it was really cheap.
Yeah. Is it something
So
that you think will be a good fit
it's
style-wise?
medieval, so I was going to play with it
Oh,
tonight and see
yeah.
if it what it has.
That sounds
It's a
great.
bunch of props and different stuff in it. So
Yeah.
and it's modular again, so it's got all the pieces and stuff. So I was going to give that a shot and see what kind of stuff it looks like. Looks like it's all stone, from what I can tell.
Okay. Yeah, but
Except for,
that's
is
kind of
that
cool.
stone? Well, that's a wooden one.
That's definitely not stone. Yeah.
No, that's wooden. That might be an option. We'll play with it and see what we do with it.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one I want to build
Cool,
is
you
this
can
guy
combine
right
all sorts of assets, so to speak.
Yep, any asset packs can be used together usually.
Yeah.
And this guy I read specifically says he gives you commercial license to use it.
Okay,
So,
good.
so I don't ever have to worry about
It's good because you
having
never know
commercial issues.
what this might end up being in the end, so to speak.
Do I have? Where's my merged
And here we have
chimney?
here I need to do some river work. So I better fix that while I'm at it. Go in here and tributaries 100%. And it's probably 4.
Chimney and
yeah. And
oh,
now
it's
we
in my
can
blueprints. Okay.
make sure that I do some meandering, and then it meanders into the other one, and I can put in some smaller.
True story. Did I not save a single story? Could have swore I did. Should have a single story right here that I did a week or so ago. Oh, I just did the. Well, this one is this a full?
Now it's time for some more trees.
Yes, that is a full one.
And here I can put in
But
quite a bit of trees here, and then I can.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to make one for this house. What hut is this that sits directly across from the welcome wench? Directly across from the welcome wench is the leather worker.
Okay.
And he needs a chimney in his house too.
Well, I guess
for goodness sakes, I don't have a chimney in his house either. Chimney. I've got the 2-story, but I don't necessarily want the 2-story.
Yeah, and I need some swamp here.
So let's go.
Add some swamp textures around the river there. So we got some swampy areas around here. There we go. And I add some swamp areas in there too. And some swamp here.
Alright, so I need to duplicate that.
And some swampy areas. So
180.
Deselect. There we go.
And get these together.
I can probably. I don't want some swamp there. That was.
I put this on top.
And then we go back to forest again. And we have another bog. Oh god.
Oh
There's
god.
no end to bogs. Reselect. No, I'm going to skip that part here and just paint them in.
Blame Mother Nature.
She did the nature. I programmed it and I rendered it and I constructed it, so it's my fault.
So it's actually your fault.
Yeah, if there's too many bogs, it's my fault. I can't blame anyone else. Maybe Beery or something. I can blame Beery for screwing things up. Yeah. Here we go.
I just like how you said it though. Oh
yeah.
god.
Yeah, but which one in the fantasy setting? Which god game do you have to blame?
Blame them all.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that. I think the deity list for Living Greyhawk was 75 deities or something, so there's a lot of blame to go around. And it's always some evil ones you can really blame, so.
Yep. Okay, so that's not gonna do quite right. But
uh-oh, now we have a.
Shrink that down.
I'm just gonna
so I can
paint them in by hand here, so that way I don't have to do all the select. I can just switch between the tools.
That one is 0.8. so
there
they
we go.
mesh a little bit better.
Okay, let's do the trees here, and then I'll need to paint in some fields and stuff like that too, because there will probably some people living here in the South Keep during the heyday of Shieldlands. So yeah. And then I'm going to set up a reed texture, but I skipped that for, I'm going to do that during Christmas. I'm going to fill in the reeds, and there's probably about 5 or so hours, 4 or 5 hours left of I'll work on this.
Hang on a second. I need... Go to BPs. Merge props. Merge buildings. Chimney 2-story. Oh, that is a lot taller. Okay. I was just curious. Or is that too tall?
Okay,
Actually, not that tall. But I'm gonna shrink this down just a little bit.
Okay, so let's do this here. Yeah, I need to fill in this here. We have another old lake bed that I need to go in here and
these two.
Add these bits here.
8. How far down did I go? There we go. We're gonna.
Then when I've done this, it's time to save again.
Both of these
and then I might do some QGIS or something. We'll see.
Sounds like you need a break from bogs.
Yeah, I need a little bit of bog break here, I think. Yeah. Or break from bogs. Yeah.
Right, and
for my painting in bogs. That will be a job for AI.
No, you're not. You are not lined up at all. Now you kind of are, and drop you down just a hair. Tight seam.
For the new Gaia version 2.0. I can't wait until I get my hands on it.
Replace.
Should be very soon now, so.
Merge props. Cool, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, my brain is like,
Oh, you're distracted with your work, just like I am with mine. But now I'm up to filling in here, so this is easy. Yeah.
Story. Single story. Okay. And then I got that. Then I'm gonna bring in hit save all so I don't lose anything that I've done. And then I want this and
so
I want another one of these. I'm just gonna make a double facing fireplace. 180 and
so
okay, so let's go 0.9 with that so it hides that rough edge.
looks like little Chico, we had a lot of play today and walk, and then it started raining, so we ran back. Very happy camper here now. He's sleeping with all his paws up in the air and very kind of
You
knocked out.
exhausted the poor pup.
Yep. Well, tired dogs are usually happy dogs because they need to spend their energy and stuff. And if they've done fun things and been around playing, sniffing, and saying hi to people and other dogs and running around and a lot of more play and then some food coma on top of that. So first be tired and then some bliss on a dog's part. So
did it again. Dang it.
Uh-oh. What did you do?
It's...
Oh, you grouped things accidentally.
It grabbed the skybox again, and I
okay.
don't want it to grab the skybox.
But do you have the skybox in order to get better lighting conditions, or what's the...
It creates the blue in the sky.
So you just...
So I get proper reflections and stuff.
Looks better, yep.
Yep. That's the sky and atmosphere in the skybox that do that.
Yep.
So...
Otherwise it would look much more artificial and...
It'd be black. It wouldn't have any light.
You can put up like a lamp or a lantern.
If I hide the sky and skybox and the lighting, it turns black. Black and white.
Gotcha. But you still... now I see the light. It looks bad.
That's the sky sphere, and then it keeps trying to get the sky and atmosphere with me. So between that and the sky sphere, it does the...
a tributary here that I need to fix, so I can
and
fix
if I hide the sky sphere, it does not much of anything at the moment because it's all blended together to make it all.
Yeah, so I can go in here.
Okay, so this one's a double, so I need to do this now.
There we go, and then I add
properly.
Make that 3 and go in here.
Merge. We're gonna put it in my stuff. Merged props. Fire. Place. Double. Or did I not?
And here we have some more bogs, of course, and more lakes.
Fireplace. Double. Paste.
And we go in and add. So put on the...
So I got that one, which is almost the exact same thing as that, but this one has 2 faces to the fireplace. Alright, so I need this one.
Hang on a second, have I already... I think I've already
fireplace double.
added that. So that might be some bogs here. There we have a couple of bogs. Not that many though.
This one shows it just inside centered.
There were quite a bit of bogs here. Yep. There we go.
Rotate it and slide it back and over.
And here we have lakes texture here.
There we go. And
there.
It's about...
We have some swampy texture here by the
lakeside. Just about there. Grab this and do...
I should have 0 hardness.
No. Okay, I've got it facing that way.
Now time to remove it because I realized I had the wrong... So now I can go in and add some little bit of features there.
Actors. And
we can add a little bit here too.
Here to merged buildings.
Same thing in
that
this one.
Is the leather worker. Okay, so I want to go 006 underscore.
Because I had it on make it for this, and it needs to be textured and some emboss features or something on the reeds.
Okay. So
I should probably put a little bit of swampy texture there. So I'm going to add 60 here, and
then I'm going to delete the original.
Just add.
And that's going to be the merged version. Leather worker 2.
There are details like this that there should always look like there is more detail always, so to speak. As long as you add these little
F2.
extra details that makes the map stand out and really shine.
Save.
For me to shave, not shave, but save.
It's time for me to shave. Okay.
Yep.
Um,
Here we go.
let's see.
Yep.
I
get brain mush here. Yeah, I can sense it.
Yeah, you can get brain mush very quick.
Yeah, and now I've been doing this, staring at the screen close up here for a bit. But now I've got swampy texture here too.
The druid doesn't say specifically that he has on the picture I can see. No, it doesn't even show one. So I'm going to put one in there, though. Otherwise, he's going to freeze to death. That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
We don't want to freeze the druid.
No, he can...
Okay,
well, you always said he can put on a chainmail and use heat metal or something that will...
Yeah, heat metal. Burn, baby, burn.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice and toasty.
So, let's see. We're going to go in here and back up against that wall.
So, tired of bogs, so there'll be swampy lakes instead in this part. A little bit wetter here than other areas.
I want to see how that looks with Quinn. Where's my player start?
And then we have some here. This one I'm going to turn into a bog.
Focus. There you are.
There we go.
Alright, so
I'm going to turn this one into...
I need to put you right there's good. Because I want the druid hut, which is right there.
And that one, and that one, and that one, that one, and that one.
Yeah, that one's a tad bit tall too.
But that one I'm going to turn into a swamp. There we go.
I don't think that's
that one
too
can
big
be swampy
for
too, and that one can be swampy.
Not if they're gonna cook, it's not too big.
This one looks like a perfect little swampy place. With a little bit of lake in the, this is one of the places that birds love in the spring and stuff. So
8-5.
There we go.
Yeah. Merge actors.
These are like, now it's time for a save.
Actors.
And I need to take a breath here, so to speak, and just stretch my feet just a little bit. Oh, there we go.
I want druid
take some water.
My
throat has been surprisingly good. I haven't coughed and stuff so much today.
Yeah, after that very
histamine tablet today, so that's probably it. I took an allergy pill. That works.
Okay, just checking my stream to make sure it still works.
Yep.
And it's still working. Cool, cool.
The number of frames going down and down, so dropped frames is 0.2%, so it's good.
Okay, so he has a chimney. Now I need to add a chimney to...
Oh.
Does this house have a chimney? Negative, it does not. Okay. Alright, so I forgot to put
here we have a long
places here.
Hot up hinge bottom. I have maybe touchy question to ask, and I hope it won't offend you.
Jingle. Holy.
Even I have something great. I hope so. Yes, I hope. And I'm soon 60, so I have, if I'm lucky, another 20 years to work on this. So my intention is to first of all make all all my maps available as Creative Commons, which means that you can just and I will give out at the end when I can't do this anymore. I will make sure that I put all my maps in public domain. So eventually, so as public domain, and I'm also making the raw files, the raw material available. So the Illustrator file, I will make Photoshop files and stuff available. Some of it is already available, and more of this that will be available. And now when I make GIS maps and stuff, there will be a geo package with all the data, so people can make their own versions of them. That's really important. load all the stuff that you find there and keep it. And you can use it, you can make your own version of it, you can share that work and stuff. So that's, yeah. So that's why I want others to make their own version and use the maps and tweak them and hopefully continue and improve on the work when I'm no longer here and able to do it. And even before, even while I'm here, please download the stuff and make the version you want to see and stuff. That's great, and use it for streaming and in your games and stuff. So I want these maps to be used and tweaked and shared. That's the idea. That's why I'm asking for some donations while I'm doing them, so I can give them away for free for the Greyhawk community to use. And also to stay in play fair with the fan creation policy from Wizards of the Coast too. That's awesome. So thank you so much. Yeah, I love to do it, and thanks to all the Patreon supporters and stuff, I get a chance to keep doing this and making better and better versions and stuff. So yeah, I would love to make the whole setting this detailed, but I might never get there, the whole setting. But I want to do as much as I can and get inspired and keep doing it and kind of show what's possible when it comes to set a new benchmark when it comes to mapping fantasy settings and give them heraldry and stuff like that to add on top. Okay, so now we fixed the texture of, now it's time to put some trees and stuff in here. So we kept at it for, yeah, we kept at it for 2 hours, so we should definitely do another hour. Oh, 45 minutes more. So I'll keep doing some more trees because now I got inspired again. So, and now it's time to do some trees around this little dam or lake here, because some of these might not be natural lakes. Some of these might actually be dammed up, that there've been some farmer or someone living in to actually dam it up a bit, and so some of these might be semi-artificial, so to speak.
Let's see, right behind the big barn.
So I'm going to add some trees around here.
So,
and
nope.
I'm going to add some trees there. Those bogs were so small, I'm going to ignore them. Yep. They've become mud pools instead of, because they have the mud texture until I put some in it, so they're mud holes. Yep.
Okay, so this one's gonna have a bigger fireplace because I gotta stretch this up a little bit.
Yeah, and
so
here we have the overflow goes that way. And here we can put it. Let me just zoom out here so I can get the bigger picture here.
That doesn't look too bad.
And again, thank you to everyone who supports me, because that makes it possible for me to get the computers, to have the time to sit down and do this, and pay for the tools and electricity and food enough to while I'm doing it and stuff. So it's all thanks to patrons and others who support me that I'm able to do this, keep doing it.
Projectors. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. So,
and in the future, I will automate or use more procedural in this, so I can actually speed up the process. So this Shieldland map is basically first to set up the standard, and then I can actually streamline the process a bit more. And it's like a prototype. Prototypes will do the work much faster in the future. I have more brushes set up, and there will be kind of more and more.
Delete you. Get you
there
back
we go.
Over where you belong. Okay. There, now everybody has chimneys like they're supposed to have. Where did my blacksmith go?
And there is a little...
Unreal, stop deleting stuff.
Yeah, we have a tiny little...
Wait, blacksmith is there. What am I...
river there that we need to fix.
Am I missing something there?
Tree... so hide the trees.
I've got the barn.
And here
got
we go.
The leather worker. Got the druid. I'm missing a bunch of trees. That's going to cover that up. Okay, that's what I'm missing.
Yep.
All right. Slowly coming together. File, save all, and save.
There we go. There,
this
and
one
that one.
is the Wainwright. Back to arch map.
Add.
Delete you. Why do I have 2 player starts?
Oh, are you going to live test it, so to speak, or what are you up to?
I am going to be starting on the Wainwright building.
Ah, gotcha. So you're switching files.
Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Where is it? Layout.
No, you switching. Yes. Do you have all the whole village in one file, or do you have them in separate?
I have each of the buildings in separate files.
Ah, okay.
So I can do it a lot easier.
But then you can assemble them all into the village.
Yep.
The whole village.
Yep. I'm keeping everything separate buildings so I can move them individually.
That you can don't have to strain the computer because I think sometimes you probably strain the computer more working on them than just looking at them or playing with them, so to speak. Afterwards.
Oh, absolutely, you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like here in Photoshop. Now I have all these layers and masks and stuff. Once I put them together into one JPEG, then I can look at it on my phone even. And it will only be a few megabytes. But now when I have all these layers and masks and all the layer effects and stuff, that means that the file becomes gigantic comparatively. And here we have another piece of river that need to fix here. So I need to go in here and
Wheel and Wainwright is
and just add some more stuff in here. There we go.
5.
And I can add another 2, so I can add one going through here. Then I can add up to 3.
Barn the Druid. Okay, so wait a second. Barn. Herdsman 26. Wheel and Wainwright.
Hello, Mike. Welcome.
Yep. I'm not sure who you're talking to, Mike, but sure.
Oh, yeah, we're making my maps. I'm working on my Shieldlands map, and Linda is working on the village of Hamlet. And I'm going to make go.
And of course, I have to have a tickle.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
I spoke too soon because saying my throat was decent.
Okay, now I can go back to. There's a movie. Ah, okay. There's a movie reference. That I'm terrible at movies. Jay knows that very well because when he makes all the cool movie references, I rarely get any of them.
You're like, huh?
Oh, we have more bogs here, so I'm just gonna.
Okay, so 26 is a barn-like house with a wheel nailed to a post.
Go in here and there we go. More bogs there. Oh, damn.
Okay, so if I'm looking at this right.
So there's one little. So there we go.
So that's the whole thing.
Deselect and go back to forests, trees. Yep.
Okay, so the wheel and Wainwright.
And then we have the Senti River. Okay, now I know where we are, where I am, so to speak. So let's go in here and
so good. The pathway comes in here.
And here I have some weird colors that I need to tweak. At the end here, I can paint in some extra. And then we take a few here. And there's some cool cliffs sticking up. There's some rocks. It's dark, but I guess sometimes they want to fly them in the dark too.
Let's try the new pack. Let's see what we've got.
I can.
Okay, so he did not do a double door.
Yeah, and that building reference building is blue and not pink, or.
I just have two different colors. I can switch behind back and forth.
Yeah, that's good.
It's whatever I'm feeling at the time.
Yeah.
Sorry for the candy, guys, but I don't have a choice. My throat is going to be a poop
we have
if I don't.
At times I have to resort to cough drops too.
Okay, so let me look at this model. I think I'll stick to the ones I've been using. Let's see.
And there are more bogs. These damn bogs.
So are you sick of bogs yet?
Yeah, I have been aware of the bogs for a while, so yeah. But I also think they're a cool feature, but right now I'm tired of having to fill in the texture, so see, there's 3. I'm going to make them bogs. That's I need to make them bogs. It's just to bite the. There we go.
Village. Meshes. Nope.
So, and deselect. Yep, I think I got them all. Wonderful. Now we can go back to trees again. Oh, because I need to stretch my. Oh, he's. Mocky, you put in a YouTube reference. I guess I should not watch that while I'm trying to stream at the same time. Might be tricky. But
computer might say, I don't think so.
But what I'll do is that I save that. So. Likely very likely I haven't seen it.
Okay, so it's centered roughly in the peak.
I still love that old map of Hamlet. It's a classic. Yeah, it's definitely a classic. And it's really well done map too. I like that style.
Yeah, the old school mapping is kind of cool.
Yeah. And that one also have huge potential to from Animal House. Okay. It also then colored it. Then I guess it can look really, really good. Now I'm going to go back to 100%. There we go. Add some in here.
Kind of wanted to make this one wooden, but I guess I could.
There we have another bog, but no. I'm going to skip there and just fill it in manually. There we go. Because I didn't need to be that precise. So now I can go back to 100% and then add in trees along the river.
And then since he's going to be working on the wagons, we'll make it wider. Can I push it to 2 without causing issue? No, I can't.
Oh, you're trying out what assets to use, so to speak, and what the general style and what.
None of them have a big wide doorway like a barn would use.
Yeah.
So I have to try and make it fudge it, so to speak.
Punch a hole is not that easy. You can just put in something and use a
because then it messes with the layout of the boards and stuff.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah.
Of course, you can't see the boards real clear on here. So I could get away with it if I wanted to, but I don't know if I want to be that self-righteous and do whatever I want. So let's see. We'll go 1.5. Let's see. Player start. I want to see how big that is compared to her. All right. I know this new town bundle I have has wagons in it, so...
Okay, then you should have a door big enough for one too.
How big is this carriage?
Oh, there you go. Yeah? Is that the medieval set?
It's a one called Medieval Town Bundle that I just picked up today.
Yeah?
It was on sale from 99 something down to like 22. And that is not big enough.
I must have tired Chico really because he's been for 2.5 hours. He hasn't just moved his leg occasionally, and he rolls over to the other side every half hour, and then he just sleeps. Yeah.
And he's like, I'm pooped. I'm good.
Yeah, he's seems to be very happy.
Okay, so that fits in there now by going 1.5 wide. Oops, wrong one. I want the wagon. Now, let's see if I can make this work.
And that is some weird stuff. And hang on a second, it's
so
here.
We'll do
I think
triple window here.
That's the place here. Yep. Need to tweak the textures here a little bit because it's kind of so, and of course more box. Who could guess? I didn't anticipate more bogs. There was one over here too. There's one. Oh, everything. Extras. Come on. Don't show extras. Thank you. Now I can fill in some of the bogs here. Yep, that was it. Deselect, view, extras. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. No, I haven't seen Animal House. I forgot. Sorry, I should have answered that earlier.
Show.
Okay.
Very good show. But you got to be in the right frame of mind because it's old school slapstick.
Oh, then I guess it's not for me. I'm often not in the right frame of mind for
John Belushi is probably one of his best performances ever. I like the potato skit that he does in it. But again, you got to be in the right frame of mind to like it, and if you don't like that kind of thing, you're...
Okay, now we have this area here.
No, I don't want
to tweak. We have all the way from up here. Yeah, I have another half hour, so
only half.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We know that a lot of things don't haven't aged
probably
that well.
90% of the humor doesn't translate well.
Yeah, hasn't aged that well. So yeah.
Just like Blazing Saddles and all those in the day, it was hilarious, but now it's like
I would do forest, but I do as many bogs as I do forests. Because now when I'm literally down in the weeds, or at least virtually down in the weeds, then I get to see what I get to see all the stuff that I missed before. So yeah.
Okay, so there's the main building.
Deselect, view extras, and back to forest again, trees.
And let's see, I'll deal with the house later.
Blazing Saddles. Yeah.
Blazing Saddles is one of those. It's a classic movie, but it would never be accepted in today's society ever.
Okay. Yeah.
Very racist and all kinds of weird stuff. So definitely not one you want to listen to in polite company.
And now the first thing I see are bogs. So okay, let's go back to bogs, but I'm going to be lazy and just fill them in manually. That was trees, so I got some trees then. Okay, but hang on a second. There are bogs. There we go, and just going to use a small brush here. Because if there's a pixel or two wrong, no one except me will ever see that, and I might remember too, so, or forget about it too. So
cheat and regroup you.
Fill in some of the ugly bits there. There's one there. Okay. Now back to trees. No matter how many bogs. Oh, then the first thing I see a bigger one. Okay.
You're like, all right, fine. I'll do another bog.
Yep. more bogs here. And this one was, well, it's not big, but from the other itty bitty ones I've done, I can fill in the area around here too. So there we go. So, okay.
All right. So I got that. And then I'm just going to duplicate that one. Here.
Laying bits that are next to the bogs and swampy lands and stuff here. I'll fill them with, and now I'm going to switch to the sparse one here. Just keep adding some sparse trees here.
Okay. Now, that has a peak in the center.
So now I do the sparse, and then I go in and fill in with more dense trees using another brush here in a second. So there I got the saw. Now it's time to go into forest 2 and then reduce the number of trees a bit here. And okay, now we can go in populations of trees here and there, following these little, like tiny little valleys that leads up from the marshy areas here. So I'm going to, and especially out here because there's plenty of water all year round, and it's also difficult to get to, so there are a few people that have been out there chopping them down too. So there we go. So
why is the shape of that one different?
now I've done about half of the remaining forest today, so I've been productive. And I've also done a whole bunch of bogs too. Yeah, there's a couple of bogs, but
the pain in your bogs.
Yep, pain in my bogs. Yep. Now I see lots and lots and lots of bogs, but right now I'm going to ignore them.
And then this one needs to be duped and then make it 2 times as wide to put it here.
The good thing when I've done Twitch showing that I do this, people can see that this is not AI. I use a lot of procedural stuff, but no what you will call artificial intelligence is involved in the making of these maps. About 50% is programming and procedural, no AI, and the rest is manual painting. So it's about 50-50. And I want to bring down the manual painting hopefully down to like 25%. That will speed up the process almost down to half. If I can have only half the number of hours I need to sit and doodle in Photoshop, that will speed it up. And especially this with trees and stuff, I can do way more of this procedurally as I tweak the settings and tools for that part.
From what you've been saying, I hope it is too, because it sounds like it's phenomenal.
Well, it is phenomenal. The only problem is that there have been features lacking that I've felt I need in the earlier versions. So, yeah. Okay, Varl, Jim, that's awesome, Varl. Yep.
AI has its place, I will say that, but
Yeah,
I'm one of those two that's kind of.
If AI could fill in my bogs, I will be so happy.
I still like the manual stuff a lot better, but
there are definite uses for AI.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm very much in the camp of semi-positive, I would call myself, when it comes to AI. There are problems and risks and definite things that we need to be worried about or look after and stuff, but there are some clear-cut benefits to it, to the technology as well. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I've tested several. I've tested Midjourney. I've tested Stable. I've even used Midjourney, especially for creating stuff for my own campaign. And I've tested ChatGPT. And there's AI in Photoshop, and I've used that too. I haven't, so I need to test that.
You just got to be careful how you use it.
Yes. Yeah. But that AI is, at least if Adobe is to believe, is more ethically sourced than others, because they are only using their own images that they have licensed for that purpose as well.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, that's and it seems like at least they've got less flack than. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Varlby Gem, that can be debatable that it's all yours whatsoever.
Well, the copyright is, I think it's jury is still out on that one, so to speak. But the thing is that I don't think anyone, from at least the general understanding seems to be that no one has copyright on the images. So
it's been hotly debated.
Yeah, so you're right in the sense that it's probably not anyone else's. But on the other hand, it's not anyone's.
Bits and pieces, unfortunately, have taken that are other people's that I've seen, which is sad.
Yeah, exactly. They all are, because they can't be copyrighted, so to speak. But I think that depends on the AI that is used in Adobe Photoshop. You can copyright the images on the results from that.
Like I said, it has its uses. It's just, a lot of my artist friends that are not Anna are very, very against it, because they've had some of their work copyrighted.
Oh, work I can totally understand that you can be against it, definitely.
They're actually working on poisoning their artwork.
Oh, yeah.
So it can't be used by AI.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm not doing that with my maps and stuff, because I want my maps to be usable as much as possible for in future use. So I try to make them accessible and usable, and so I'm not poisoning them.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the debate on AI, unfortunately.
Commission for a customer, then if they will have the option of having them poisoned for AI or not. It's up to them. It's not for me. But my Greyhawk maps are not in any way, shape, and form. I try to make them as accessible as possible. not try to make them. I want to make them as usable as possible.
Yeah, and that's to each individual person, but
Yeah.
there's some people that really depended on the income that
Oh
are
yes.
having
Yeah.
huge issues
And
with it.
that's the sad part with it. Not only AI in that camp sooner or later, maybe
The
not right
hell
now,
did
but
it do
it
now?
will come a day when AI can do almost everything that I
Oh yeah,
do.
there will. I mean, there's no debating that part of it. It's
Yeah.
just that there has to be, in my estimation, stricter ethics put into the people that are making the AI engines. And it's a very hotly debated
What
subject,
young
still in its
technology? Yeah.
infancy yet.
Yeah.
So,
But it's super interesting. Oh, thank you, Angamarand. And
hmm
it's awesome, Varl. Yeah, I can totally get it because I for my campaign I've used AI to for my own games. Yes.
hmm
Yep.
It definitely has its uses. I'm not going to argue that point, but I
Yep.
argue that there's a lot of people that are monetary.
Yep.
Um, and I personally would rather use
I
somebody's
will be.
handwritten art,
Yeah, and
hand-drawn art.
if I could afford to pay
Well,
someone for
yeah,
my own games, I will
absolutely.
do that too. Yep.
hmm And that's another factor of it,
Yep.
cost and everything else. So,
Yep.
but like I said before, to each his own, do what you want to do,
Yep.
but it's just I have some issues with it.
With the loss of jobs, there are other side of AI that are in other sense far more dangerous even than
hmm
losing people's livelihoods. There are even direct deadlier consequences of other forms of AI too. So
Oh, absolutely.
there's a whole can of worms, but there's also some awesome stuff in it. So yeah, so I'm dual minded when it comes to AI. I can both benefit from it and be affected by it and terrified by it. So yeah,
I
it's all
personally
over the
have not
place.
played with it very much. I do a little bit
Yeah.
with texturing because it can create textures in AI.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I prefer to do the manual stuff because the manual textures you can
Yeah.
control a little bit better. So,
Yeah, I've played around with it mainly to illustrate my own games
hmm
with NPC portraits and a couple of places and stuff like that. That has been my main use of AI. And then
hmm
I've tested some concepts and stuff like that, idea for that, like monster portraits and stuff for NPCs and monsters. And I've also tested to see if it could do other stuff, and because I wanted to evaluate what can it do it for dungeon maps and encounter maps and textures, but it hasn't done anything that has been really useful in that department for me yet. But I can clearly see that we're not far off that it will be able to do a lot of cool stuff that I can do. And then comes the AI that will not create but AI that can help place assets in like Unreal, or it can help me to generate procedural code and algorithms and tweak my fractals and stuff. That type of AI I'm very open for, and that will be it, so to speak. So AI that can generate Python code for me, or it can generate procedural weak fractals for me. That is very tempting. That I think will be my first big use of AI. Will be to do it. Another possible thing that I have thought about but never tested, and I don't know if I will, but that will be to feed it all my research material on Greyhawk and then see if it can make connections and instead of reading it for me. I don't know if that's something that is legal that I can do or should do, or if it can even work on something. So I have to do a lot of reading and thinking and research before I even dare to do it, and I will
I would
probably
be
not do it.
super, super careful
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying that I'm
because,
toying with the idea, but it's
yeah,
only
yeah,
the
yeah,
idea stage, so to speak. It's something
yeah.
that I will look into. Is it possible, legal, morally decent enough to do it, etc. So my guess is that he's
standalone AI that wasn't connected to the internet. It
exactly.
might
That's
be
what
okay
I meant.
to do it.
Yes, exactly. That will be exactly
I'd
what you use.
still be very leery of it.
Yeah, exactly. So
because I hate to say it, but there's programs out there that can do that for you, such as Notion. You can create relationships all day long in there.
Oh yeah, but those
And
you have to manually do, so to speak. But yeah.
Some of them you do. Some automatically
and
link.
Obsidian have some interesting stuff coming too. And well, Notion also has it. So Hype Train, thank you. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Angamaran, yeah, we are not there yet, so to speak. But on the other hand, AI is developing fast, so yeah. Choo choo. Yep. Thank you. Yep. So we'll see. Okay. But if I can get an AI that fills in my bogs, I will be so happy. Yep.
That's the only use I have for it, is to fill in your bogs.
I will immediately employ an AI that could fill in my bogs. Yep.
That's your use for it. Fill in the bogs. Okay.
Now we have some issues here. So hang on a second.
We're gonna do a little bit bigger.
I have nothing selected, and I have everything
here.
There we go. Okay, so it worked.
There we go. And this one is obviously this side.
Yep, exactly the effect I was looking for. So, yep. Oh, awesome, Jay. That's so cool. 9 a.m. Eastern. Okay, that means that I have to get up 6 o'clock tomorrow morning in order to see Poo Poo and Kaka.
Dare I ask who Poo Poo and Kaka are?
Poo Poo and Kaka are my favorite NPCs in Jay's campaign. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and Jay, please list. One of them is like a hardship. So please, Jay, explain to Linda a little bit what they were like 15 years old or something when they created them. So they've been there ever since. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to set my alarm clock here. So I'm going to set my alarm for tomorrow. I'm going to set it.
Goblin Fighter and Bugbear. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense then. Now got it.
Yep. Bugbear Bounty Hunters. Yep. So I'm going to set it. My alarm is set so that way I can hopefully make. That's 9 hours and 50 minutes from now. So that means that, and we have streamed for 2.5. Yeah. So we have another 15-20 minutes to stream. So, and then I have an hour or so I can be up because I want to get like 8 hours of sleep.
Only speaks Bugbear Goblin. Speaks Broken Common. Oh yeah, boy.
Yeah, they're fun. They're awesome. They're little characters.
That could be some classic interludes.
Yep. Yep. They're successful members of the Bounty Hunters Guild, or are they just members? Yep.
Oh, I gotta return.
I need to have a little bit more trees here. So there we go. So I'm going to.
Yeah. I want to turn this one.
Oh, that was too much.
Nope. Oh, that's because I stretched it. Grr. That's why it's causing issues.
Best track is okay. Awesome.
Yeah, I want to stretch it. That one was stretched that way. This one is stretched this way. That's why it wasn't lining up.
And then we have a bog again.
A bog again.
Yep, so I'm going to fill in that bog there. There we go. Any other bogs here? Nope, that's good. No other bogs. And then I'm going to save again here just to be, because I need to stretch my arms and hands a little bit, relax them. Okay, look at that. You get a barn door, a barn wall here. Yep.
Yep, it's a barn wall. Yep, it's really turning out nice. I'm kind of happy with this one.
Yeah.
Gonna kick it over.
I think this is a second hype train. I think when we had one of the games during the virtual Greyhawk Con last year. Then we had a hype train. So this is probably the second hype train.
Nice.
So
Right,
this is
so
awesome.
copy
Yep.
both of these. Gimme both of those.
Okay, so zoom out a little bit here.
And
But yeah, this is starting to look, and it looks a little bit artificial when you see it like this, but once it's rendered and shaded properly in World Machine, it looks much better, much more realistic. I was always worried in the beginning, like, oh, this looks way too artificial with the trees, but then it looks better. So it, yeah, and I'm not. It's not the final thing because I'm tired of doing these tiny little bits of trees, so I can add some more here. Oops, that was way too much. Oh, the wrong tool. That's why. Yeah.
I watch a guy that's called Vice Grip Garage, and some of my boring moments when I don't know what to watch on TV or on YouTube, and he does all engine rebuilds of like 25, 35, 40-year-old cars.
Yeah.
And he always goes, way too much. Perfect. Perfect. At the end.
See, that's
and that's one of his things.
Yeah, that's what I do too. Yep.
He's one of my favorite channels.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch. It's just kind of silliness sometimes, but it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right, so that one's going to be really tall, Barn. So he needs extra height. Don't ask me why, but he does.
Yeah, and we have a lot of trees here by the river's edge here.
And I'm going to have to disguise that somehow because it looks goofy, but
yep. Now I need to
since I stretched his door frame, it's not working as well as I'd like it to.
And I need to, oops, I need to look at,
I'll have to just disguise it. Size is large. Can I just do one of these? Rotate it, and
now it's time to do some spread out sparse trees here.
And do this. I think
go
we'll
in here and add
some goofy.
Yeah, add sparse trees in here. Because this is kind of a wet area because there's so many rivers and marshes and stuff around, so that will be now I need to go in here and
so there will be oh
yeah, there's some in here, yeah, because I paint in the lakes because the masks are not fully developed here, so that's why I need to make it slightly smaller here. Oh, now I remove,
and then you.
And now I need to go in here and take the forest too, and then add some.
There we go.
More kind of.
Yeah. That works.
More developed areas here.
All right.
And one of the neat little tricks is that if I get boring textures that don't look good under, I can paint over them with hide the ugly bits with trees. That works too. If it looks reasonable that there should be trees there, that's the other thing. I can't just do it because it looks ugly. It needs to be a realistic place for trees to grow as well. So yeah.
Much better. Much better.
So here I try to work with the underlaying textures and fill in some of these lines and stuff. And areas that the texture indicates that it looks like there's bushes and trees. So then I kind of add to that. So and around fields like this, I put the trees not across the fields, and I put them around the fields, like you have in farmlands. Farmers let the trees grow by the edge of the fields because that's good, because that keeps wind erosion down and stuff like that. So.
So I gotta move this whole mess forward just a little bit.
And here we have some boring piece of texture there, so I'm going to put some sparse trees in here. kind of spruce it
So,
up.
is that
Hang on a
hanging
sec.
over on this end?
We need to check that.
That is. Okay.
Have I used farmland there? No, I haven't. Okay, good. Then I can add some farmland there too. Just going to do hardness and shape dynamics. Here we go. We can add some farmland here. Oh, that spices up the area considerably much better. There's some one texture kind of interacts with another one, and you get these kind of weird effects at times, and that means that it might be a good idea to add some trees and stuff on top of that when you got the worst here. So there we go. I can add some trees on top here.
Oops, there's a gap. Actually, no, we're just gonna do this one. Shove it just a little bit. This one just a little bit. There, good enough. I'll work with it from there.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and join all of these. I'll probably end up ungrouping it 50 times before I'm finally satisfied, but...
Are you messing around with the skybox again? Yep.
No, nope, no skybox this time.
Yep.
I managed to get it out of the way and not accidentally select it.
Yep. That's good. A little hype for the holidays. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
And
so
here we have the biggest bog of them all, but I'm going to make that a swamp. I'm going to make these lakes and stuff swamps, but I've found
all right,
one of the biggest ones here, and that will be some of the last bits to actually do, I think.
okay,
I will go in here and
needs to be slid back over.
hide. Oh, show the extras. Now I'm going to hide the extra. There we go. And then I'm going to, I'm going to choose the right tool for the job. There we go. I'm going to
offset that.
There we go. Tweak them.
Alright, and
And
this is gonna be...
No, that looked better the way it was. Now it's better to go in here and add just 30%. And then add the details here. Just tiny.
Yeah,
oh, that was that. And then do the same thing here.
Wall door. Why is that door so big?
Well, you have your barn door. Isn't that a barn door?
No, that's the human door.
Okay. Well, if it's big enough for a cart, then you can use it as a barn door, can't you?
I could, but
yeah.
I could.
You
but
were looking for a barn door, and now you found a big door. I thought that would solve your issue.
It would solve my issue, but
that was not not the way you wanted it solved.
Not the way my brain said. Nah.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Can't you just rename it and it will work? Yep.
I could. Yeah. I could do all kinds of stuff with it, but that looks better. His hut needs to be just a little bit bigger. We're gonna go with this one, and we're gonna kick this over just a little bit. I'm going to pop it back just to make it more interesting, and then we're gonna.
Okay, I think we made good progress. 2 hours more of forest and filling in bogs. I still have that big lake over here. I'm thinking about turning this one into a bog, but I like the shape of it so much. So I'm just going to keep it a lake because I like so I'm going to keep this one, and these. I'm going to keep them lakes. And I'm going to make a little building, and I'm going to make a little like this is dammed up. That way I'm going to add it.
And I'm going to hug him and pet him and call him George.
Yes, that's exactly, calling me George. Very true. Yep. And deselect. Yeah, I feel like I'm done for the night here.
I'm just about there.
Yep, good. Then you can do that while I'm trying to figure out what I want to do next. Well, I have more. I'm probably halfway done with trees. I've done like 4 hours of tree work, and I probably have another 3-4 hours of tree work before it's done. Nah, probably another 2 hours, not 3-4 hours. I'm probably 3/4 done. I've done that bit. I've done almost 60% of the trees.
Okay.
Yeah, of trees. So I have this area here, and I have this area here that I haven't done. These two I've done almost fully. That one I'm pretty much done with. That one I have a little bit here and a tiny little bit there to do. A little bit here. And this one I've done the part up to the river, but the rest I haven't done. So areas are trickier because wilderness is easier. It's the areas here where you have a lot of people living, farmlands and stuff, because that requires you to be much more precise when you place trees and vegetation. So, and it's fun to place them here by the coast. It's kind of cool. But I have the Senti Lake. These areas will be fun to do up lakes and stuff, and some areas here and some bogs. But they are already filled in because I filled in bogs like crazy up here. I thought I had already done the bit on the southeast here, but that's why I was so surprised, because I thought I filled in all of them, and now all of a sudden there were like 500 of them that were not filled in. And now they are filled in. So because when I look here, I can't see hardly any bogs that aren't done, because I'm actually, so in some sense this area is actually more behind. But the problem was that I used old parts of these were old from a previous, so that therefore that threw me off the loop a bit. So I mixed up some old and some new stuff, and that was the reason for, so the root of some of the problems that caused for it.
The root of all evil.
Yeah. Yep. All the evil bogs. Yep.
Speaking of evil, I found another that is evil trees.
Oh, that sounds
it's
fun.
All twisty, turny trees, and when I get to doing the temple or finishing the temple, I'm gonna get it.
That sounds awesome.
It's like just gnarly old twisted trees, and
wow,
it's really cool looking.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, I need that.
Yeah.
But it'll be when I get to the point of actually getting back to the temple and finishing that.
Oh, that sounds really, really good.
Yeah. I was looking at different. I think I'll just wait a little while on that one.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that big of a sale that it'd make a difference. So, but it was, gnarly, twisty trees, and like lots of vines all over them, and really crazy looking stuff. So,
yep,
it was pretty neat.
Okay. Yep. I think I'm done. Yep.
I think I'm cooked.
I'm cooked. So tomorrow morning at 9 p.m. Eastern, Jay Lord Gusumba channel, there is a game. I forgot what it was called. He had it in his listing here. If I scroll back up, but it's probably so far up that it's disappeared. Yep. But go to Lord Gusumba, Twitch TV Lord Gusumba, and watch the game tomorrow morning. I've set my alarm to 5:45 so I can get up and start working and do some QGIS work or something while and yeah, and no gabbing on Christmas Eve, so no gabbing this week. So yeah,
I'll probably catch it, but it'll be at a later replay because I'm sorry, I'm not getting up at 6 a.m. when I go to bed at like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Well, you only have to get up at 7 because you're an hour ahead of me. So yeah.
Yeah, but if I go to bed that late, I won't be getting up.
Yeah, but
I have serious sleep issues. So
yep. Anything
I
else
won't
you
be
want to
getting
shout out before we wrap up?
Not that I can think of, no.
Yeah. So then I guess it's time for us to wish everybody a wonderful Merry Christmas and a wonderful weekend now leading up to Christmas and so on. So stay safe and don't go out and throw too many snowballs and stuff like that. If you live in an area where you have snow, we don't. Here we
Yeah,
don't have any snow.
luckily we don't have snow yet. Not much,
Okay.
maybe an inch,
Oh,
if
good.
that.
Yeah, my mother has
So,
snow the whole of Sweden. So yeah, good night, Rawl. And yeah, so and thank you everyone who supports me and make this possible. So tomorrow I'm going to write the fill in the next. I have some illustrations and stuff to do for my end of the year post and looking forward post. So I'll try and wrap that up tomorrow and then edit it and read it through on Sunday and then post it. That's the plan. Thank you, DM Jeremy. Same to you.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Merry
yeah,
Christmas and whatever
yep,
holiday.
yep,
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
yep. Okay,